We're banning TikTok, and in particular, one single company, under what I consider false or at least heavily exaggerated rationale. For example, TikTok is one of many, many social media platforms. And TikTok, at least in the past years, have tried hard to convince America that it can be trusted. It spent over $1 billion, for example, building data center in Texas and housing all US data. Some of the other social media companies, such as Meta, can even claim that they have data centers around the world, including Singapore. And incidentally, for those Americans that know, Singaporean government claims to have the right to have access to data, even data in transit to Singapore, not even housing Singapore. And I'm sure there are many other countries with similar laws. So in many ways, TikTok has been on the forefront of trying to convince America that it is safe and to be trusted. But the law banning TikTok rely on the national security claim. And yet it is unproven, meaning that there is no real case against TikTok that it is accessing, or the Chinese government is accessing the TikTok data or the American users. Rather, there is a fear that this can happen. Since when is the last time we as a country banned a single company because fear an unproven situation? To me, the rationale for banning TikTok is built on a very false premise. Single out a single company, happened to be a Chinese company. So as Chinese American, we feel singled out. TikTok right now is on a 75 days life extension and expires, I think, somewhere around mid-April. There are talks of TikTok being purchased by any number of companies, including a newly created American sovereign wealth fund. So that is probably one of the more likely routes that could happen. And of course, when that happens, which may not necessarily be the worst thing for TikTok in some ways, because arguably you could regain the trust of American. But from a Chinese American perspective, it feels like a forced nationalization of a Chinese company. The implication of a forced sale of TikTok to any American firm, including the sovereign wealth fund, raises the question of what's next. Is this the slippery slope that we as Americans want to go down?